We often hear the expression, calm down, man, it's just a meme. Actually, no. I'm not gonna calm down. Memes are serious. I'm serious. Look, we can downplay the way we're spending our lives by trivializing it. But with how living has moved online in a very substantial way in the last 20 years, and especially in the last 5, one of the upsides is the breadcrumb trail. It's all archived. You can view your 10-year-old Facebook posts and try not to cringe. Or you can find, again, something super awesome that lights up your memories and takes you back. I think memes are the bookmarks of our lives. They bring us back to a time and place. But not all memes are equal. Some we see for a second and it's out of our lives faster than Taco Bell. And others are going to be the greatest thing we see all year. How about the amazing ones? I think everyone remembers seeing a meme about this house at some point. It's such an amazing scene out of fucking Narnia or some shit that you'll remember it forever. Everyone thinks this is Bjork's house, or that a billionaire made it to escape an impending apocalypse, but that's not important. The reason why we're looking at this today is because I've published a hit list, not of people, but locations, to build in Minecraft. So I got to researching as many amazing and incredible places as I could, and I've got to say, this without a doubt would be a great first location, the loneliest house in the world. But the first thing you've got to understand about the loneliest house in the world is that it's not necessarily the house that makes this visual appearance so viral. This is a tiny and humble little house superimposed on an incredible, fascinating geological Icelandic island with this amazing curved shape. So it's really about the island. Big spoon, little spoon. And when it comes to building this in Minecraft, it's about the island. And it's no secret that, although the initial Terra 1-to-1 mod I introduced to start this project was amazing, it's based on open source global elevation data, which isn't great. This island doesn't just magically generate completely accurately in Minecraft. We have to build it from scratch. Knowing that, a legendary Russian builder named V4Civ took on this project himself. Now, we have this magical tool called TPLL, which you've probably heard about before, but it has a limitation. TPLL only gets you the latitude and longitude, not the elevation. This is why the utilization of TPLL can get you so far in our project when it comes to buildings, but we're all floundering when it comes to the idea of terraforming. But there is a way to do it. If you go all the way to Google Earth Pro, putting a point somewhere with this yellow pin gives you the elevation. You write that down, and you have an absolute point. You get a network of points at the critical elevation sites on the island, and you average the terrain between all the points, and you have your island. The more points you do, the more accurate. And this is exactly what V4Civ did. Okay, wait, no it's not. Holy shit. Okay, so I'm checking this out on Google Maps, and the island has no 3D. So according to the video and data he sent me of the creation process, he TPLL'd the shape. Then this fucking guy took the house, figured out it had a height of 7 meters, and then extrapolated the length and elevations of the island's points based on that data. He said right here for his script to generate. You know what? I'm not even gonna ask. When I said this project was about the island, I had no idea what I was talking about. It's all island. Iceland is insane. But when the island is done, we're not done. We still have to do the legendary house. There's enough photo and video evidence to get the exterior of these buildings, but what about going inside? Are we gonna have to get permission from Bjork? Turns out that rumor is bullshit, as is the rumor that this was made by some eccentric billionaire making it as a haven to escape the apocalypse. That's such a stupid rumor. If you were a billionaire wanting to survive an apocalypse, you would build a way more decked out lair with warthog gun turrets in a much more hidden location, and that's just barely scratching the surface of what's possible if you can pour 8 figures or more into this project. Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. Anyways, this house was actually created by the Eloy Hunting Association. I'm saying that wrong. I know, shoot me. You see, this island has more poffins than just about anywhere else in Iceland, so they built this hunter's lodge, and it wasn't easy. The legendary Ryan Trahan on YouTube managed to befriend Icelandic locals who were part of the association, and they brought him on the island, and they spent a night there. This is how you get on the island. And that's the only way. That means every piece of man-made material, including all the large supplies necessary to build the house, was brought to the island like that. As incredible as our technology and capability as a species is today, we will never escape the shadow of our ancestors with what they did and were capable of without that technology. No helicopters, nothing. But fortunately, the video of Ryan Trahan provided very detailed views of the interior allowing V4 Civ to very accurately depict the inside of the cabin, from the kitchen details to the upstairs bunks. And with all of that complete, V4 Civ was done. So you take one of the most breathtaking, strange sights in the world and you convert it into Minecraft. What does it end up looking like? It looks like this. And when V4 Civ dropped the first renders of it, my jaw dropped. I can't even comprehend the effort, skill, and finesse it took to do this island justice. The cliffs, the ridges, the fields and structures. It's just unbelievable. And unless someone somewhere on Earth has made 3D for this island, we now have the most accurate virtual replica of Eloy Island and the loneliest house in the world. I asked V4 Civ what his experience was like creating this, and he gave a very long technical explanation, blah blah blah, to which I replied, "But how do you feel?" And this was his response. Savage. If you want this island to experience for yourself, we've made it available on our Patreon. In addition to much more of Iceland and thousands of buildings and large finished areas of major world cities. I see this island as an incredible picturesque start to a Minecraft survival journey. Imagine spawning here. If you want to use this for something like that, a download link is in the description. This island is nuts. For the last 3 centuries prior to 1930, 5 different families lived together on the island, living on puffins, fish, and cattle. Yeah, they ate those adorable little birds. Only after 300 years did they slowly figure out that living on the island was super impractical, and in 1930, the last 5 residents of the island left, and it was abandoned ever since until the Hunter Association built the first lodge in the 1950s. But here's the thing. I looked up the 30 different articles, and they all said the same thing about the 5 families living there for 300 years. I couldn't actually trace this source to an original source to get more information. One article deduces that the history was rife with inbreeding, and 5 families, 300 years? Yeah, checks out. But I couldn't find where all the articles originally got these pieces of information from, because interestingly enough, there isn't a shred of still standing huts or anything that these people would have lived in while having a mini civilization here. If anyone can trace the origin of the source of that information, let me know, because I'm really curious. A lot of the original reason images of this house spread across the internet, aside from there being nothing else on Earth like it, was the isolation. Introverts and internet cave dwellers across the internet vowing that they would live here and never look back. But would they really? This place will have no internet. And you can't hotspot it because I really doubt any carrier has service that reaches here. It has plumbing, but minimal water tanks through rainwater collection systems. And if it has any electricity, it's probably very minimal as well, running on huge batteries or generators that you can't just leave on a daily basis. Could you live a life completely detached from the outside world? I definitely could. Whenever the power goes off in my house, I'm always pissed at first, but the longer it's off, the happier I become. I don't touch my phone because I want to immerse myself in the experience, and smartphone batteries are dead quite soon without chargers anyway. You light candles and you read. You work on physical hobbies. You actually get really into it. Absent the hum of your air conditioners, washing machines, and everything else, you're swallowed up in a peaceful feeling of complete silence as you absorb page after page of the universe in your book to the romantic glow of warm candlelight. I would get over my addictions to technology and the internet really quickly and just find stimulation and value in places much less often looked at now. The longer the power is out, the more peaceful you become. It's like the internet brings the world into your home, and that intense connection is almost a constant stress or source of anxiety. When it's all off, it feels so much more far away, and your home feels protected again. When the power comes back on, you're happy, but a large part of you is also sad that it's over. It's time to blow out the candles, to close the door on the dream, on the reality you just spent the last 4 to 48 hours investing in. I've known people in my life who get really depressed if they aren't around people, even for a few hours. I once watched this series on YouTube a long time ago of this guy who wanted to survive a year alone in the Yukon. He made it a few weeks before he just cried into the camera every time he turned it on, whining about how much he missed his mom and dad. I've never understood that. Isolation and solitude give you space to think, to contemplate the world, your place in it, and what you should do when you return. I go on walks alone to help facilitate this type of mental meditation because it's very helpful to my life. And I could think of no better way to do that than to go live on this island, a refuge far away from the noise of civilization. Take a break from it, lose your power at home, read with a candle, and contemplate your life with a clear head and open mind, knowing that all of the machines are off. I highly recommend it. This video is the first in a series where we build what I consider the most interesting locations on Earth. V4Civ applied for this location the same way that you can. If you want to be predominantly featured in your own video building something like this, the channels to do so are in the video apply section of the Discord linked in the description. Thank you so much to our top tier patrons at Build the Earth: Almighty Svet, Ekalise, Ji Yang, CocoPingus98, Megan Lecky, Pixie Gum, The Demon Slayer, and Walker Army, and Dr. Bustdown from the Pippin MC Patreon. Your continued support means the world to me. Thank you, and enjoy the download of this island.